Life is like a flute with many holes and emptiness. But if you work on it, it can play beautiful, magical notes. So you may start, you may reset, you may readjust, refocus, but never say quits. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dr. Tapaswini's Corner. And that's me, and I work as a head and neck cancer surgeon. Unexpected problems are always a part of everyone's life. But when fought with courage and might, even difficult moments turn into blessings. Well, that's the story of our today's cancer survivor, Ms.Rita Bhalla. You're currently the director of Cancer Sahyog, an emotional support group of the Indian Cancer Society. Involved with cancer care for nearly 2 decades, you've been instrumental in organizing various awareness and health-related programs for the masses. As the founder's secretary and later as a chairperson of Prerna, the emotional group for cancer patients at the Army Hospital Research and Referral, your contribution has been honored by the AVA, Army Wives Welfare Association Award for Excellence in 2006. Welcome, Ms. Rita, to the program, and it's indeed a pleasure that you're here with us to share your story.
Thank you.
So, if we look at your journey with cancer, it dates back to 2001, 2002.
Yes.
So, what was the warning signal that you received before you saw the doctor?
See, in July 2001, I had this sudden vaginal bleeding. And because I'd had a hysterectomy a few years earlier, I was really concerned. So I immediately rushed to the Army Hospital R&R. In retrospect, I feel that that was the best move that I could have made, as early detection is key to successful cure. Anything that's not normal should be shown to the doctor without delay.
Absolutely, absolutely. But was the situation really scary because you were so young and you had this problem, which, I mean, it just took you aback?
Yes, in a way it was. And after numerous tests, I was told that I had vaginal wall sarcoma, which is a wound-related cancer. It's quite a rare cancer as there is hardly any soft tissue in the vaginal wall. So I felt it was bad news. Like most people, I felt that I may not survive. So my life suddenly took a U-turn and a lot of uncertainty about my plans, about my future set in. My son had just gone into class 12. So, I had all the dreams of really looking after him, keeping awake with him at night, making him that hot cup of chocolate, maybe motivating him. So all that, I felt I would not be able to do. This made me very nervous. Yes.
Okay. But I think when we, from your talks, what I realized is that you accepted the situation and you moved on. You sought for the treatment. You never looked back, but you moved ahead.
Yes, for that, I owe a big major this thing to the doctors at R&R. Doctors were so good. They were more like psychiatrists. They reassured me that cancer was treatable and that one needs to face and deal with the problems and not brush them under the carpet. And they also explained to me that the earlier we start the treatment, the better it would be for me. So he gave me a very good example of a snake. He said, if a snake enters your house, your room, would it be a good idea to just shut your eyes and wish it away? Or would you take anything, maybe a stick and try to shoo him off or try to even kill him? So yeah, I understood their point. He gave me a couple of pills to calm me down. And then after that, he explained me all the modalities of the treatment. So once all that was clear and I knew what to expect, I think I faced the treatment quite courageously. So thanks to the doctors,
That's really nice. That's really nice. But, it's generally a tendency with patients that they would love to go around, discuss more with different people from different hospitals, different onco specialists, before they decide on where they would finally settle for their treatment. But what was it like with you?
In my case, the trust was complete. It was the army hospital. I have married an army man. I have total trust in the army organizations. So I was very, very, grateful to the doctors. I had no doubt about their intelligence and about their capabilities. But I think there's no harm in taking a second opinion. In fact, the army doctors, encouraged us to go to another hospital just to get the view. Their opinion, a second opinion maybe. So I went to Rajiv Gandhi at Rohini, and we took a second opinion. It was just the same. Also, after my surgery, the pathological findings were reconfirmed by Tata Memorial.
That's why we say, faith is the surest guide in the darkest of your days. So you need to really have faith and trust in your treating physicians.
That's important.
So what was your treatment like and how long did it last?
See, my complete treatment took around 7 months. So in the beginning, they told me that I would be given chemotherapy. So I had this chemotherapy which lasted for 5 days continuously. And then after a gap of 21 days, I was due for second chemotherapy. So 2 rounds of chemotherapy I had, but then they realized that it was not really helping me. I said, no, let's go in for a surgery. And they, after the surgery, they said, I need to undergo radiation. So that, if at all there is a couple of cells, cancerous cells lying here and there, they could be dealt with. So I had these 30 rounds of radiotherapy and 2 internal radiations. The chemotherapy, as you asked me, has its usual side effects. I lost all my hair, which was very, very traumatizing. But my children were pampering me. They said I looked like a newborn baby and I looked really cute. So that kept my spirits high. I lost my appetite. There was nausea. There was blisters in the mouth, general, weakness and pain in the limbs. And the immunity, of course, had come very low. For that, my husband was very strict. He wouldn't allow any visitors to come to me so that I don't get any infection from anyone, just like the doctors had suggested. And my mom took great care of the hygiene. And not only my room, which was always fresh and airy, she made home cooked food with no mirch masala, only salt and haldi. I didn't eat any raw vegetables or fruits. Even when my children, when they came back from school, they went in for a bath, they changed their clothes, and then they came to me. So we took all the precautions, and I think chemotherapy went off pretty okay. Yeah.
That's like a lovely thing to hear, everybody pampering you from all corners. So what was the journey with radiation?
Radiation, see, on the first day it was a little lengthy because they were doing all the markings. So I stuck to the rules. I wasn't rubbing that area. I wasn't applying any ointment when I had to come for the radiation on that area. So it was good. And I just needed 5 minutes every day. It was 5 days a week. Saturday, Sunday being off. But, after a few weeks, I started getting these very terrible loose motions, maybe 20, 25 a day. That really sapped me of all the energy. So of course, I was always telling the doctors about it. So they said they'll give me a 4-day break instead of the usual 2-day break, and just see how I recovered. And they gave me some little medicines to deal with it. And fortunately, I could continue with it and do the whole course. For the internal radiation, yes. When they explained to me, I was quite apprehensive. Though they kept telling me, please relax, you'll be able to sit and read a magazine. It won't be bad at all. I was very, very scared. In fact, there was a father from some church who came to pray for me. He blessed me and all. And after that, I started feeling a little relaxed. So next morning when I went for this internal radiation, I said, yeah, the doctors were right. It wasn't that bad at all.
Good, great. But tell us, what is that thing which helped you the most to sail through these tough times?
I think the positive attitude. I didn't, not only didn't think anything negative, I didn't do anything that my body wouldn't permit me to do. So I exercised or I worked only as much as my body would permit me to. At any moment when I felt tired, I would just relax. So I wasn't trying to prove that I'm a superhuman being or something. I let everyone help me out. And whatever I could do, I did. What I couldn't do, I just didn't do. I didn't eat anything unhealthy. And also, I didn't eat something which I didn't feel like eating. Like during my treatment, I never wanted to look at non-vegetarian food. I didn't want to have the usual tea, which I really enjoyed. So I just didn't have it. For 3, 4 months, I didn't touch it. I didn't
Okay.
meet negative people. I
Correct.
didn't even attend their calls. So, I was very, very particular about that. Like, I'll give you an example. I spoke to the doctor before my surgery and I said, do you think it's worth it? Do you think I'll survive? So he says, ma'am, do you have children? I said, yeah, I have 2 children. So he says, ma'am, you'll not only see your grandchildren, but also your great grandchildren. So I was
Wow.
at the top of the world. And I discussed it with a relative who was also a doctor. So she had that
Uh-huh.
pessimistic view and she says, tum apne bacche paal lo, itna bhi bahut hai, types, tumhe cancer ho gaya. So for a minute, exactly half a minute, I felt upset. And then I said, no, I'm going to listen to my doctor. He knows more about me. Life is in God's hand. So why should I worry about it? And
Right.
one more thing that I want to give credit to is the army, which is like a big family. It was such a support, great support from them. Even today, I meet people, they say, oh, we lit a candle for you. We said the Mahamritujan jap for you. There are so many people praying for you. And last but not the least, my mother was there. Mother's touch is healing. So she was there with me 24/7. And one more thing which the doctors did, they thought that I was positive, optimistic. So they used to send me to patients who were feeling low. So, when I went to meet those patients, I used to encourage them. So all that thing further strengthened my beliefs. And that's how,
True.
I could sail through.
The two things which I figure out from here is, one is the great support that you had. If you have right people supporting you, it's just
Yes.
wonderful. And this is the time when you really require them. And the second
Yes.
thing is that you always clinged on to positive thoughts. And the
Yes.
moment you
I
drive away and distance yourself from negativity, you can do and you can really achieve a lot of things in life. That's really
correct.
great what I see in you. But you're also a very firm believer in God. Spirituality is part of you. So, did this situation make you more inclined?
Whether it's ups or downs, I always say my prayers. I never lose hope in and faith in God. So when my illness was detected, I questioned God, of course, but I didn't lose faith in Him. In fact,
Right.
as different phases of my treatment went by, my faith got stronger and stronger. And when I emerged a winner, I felt, oh, there's nothing impossible for God. I can ask him for anything and I'll get it from him. And I'd done exactly that, because my children were small and still growing up. I told God, you've given me 2 children, give me life to look after them. I really
Wow.
want to look after them. And he granted me the life. So, my trust in him has become even stronger. And even till today, I never forget to thank him. Anything happens, good happens in my family, anything good happens to the children. I go to some beautiful place, I see some beautiful thing. I say, oh God, thank you so much. You've given me this life, and I got an opportunity to see all this. So
Wow.
I keep thanking him all the time.
Great.
That's the thing.
Lovely, lovely. So that's what we say, when you trust the Almighty more and more, you get more confidence, more hope, and also it gives you a lot of peace. And it helps you to transform these difficult situations into great opportunities. Wonderful.
Yes.
But do you think everything which happens in our life happens due to a reason?
Yes. Now, as days are passing by and it's been nearly 2 decades, I strongly believe that, because I found my true calling after my illness. I always liked people, but I really like helping people, holding their hands in times of need, just
Wow.
being there for them. And this volunteer work that I've been drawn into, ever since I fell ill. Firstly, by the doctors, now by the various NGOs. So satisfying that I'm able to give back to society something. I really believe that cure may be in the hands of God, but care is surely in
Correct.
the hands of man.